Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry, I'm filthy right now. I just got off doing a plumbing job. I was basically working on it all day. It was supposed to be just a quick thing, and turned out that all the plumbing was messed up. It was my daughter's boyfriend's grandpa's house. Not that that matters, but at any rate. So after yesterday, I didn't have much to say yesterday. I didn't want to really do much talking. I was just kind of in my own headspace and kind of processing everything and how I feel and like where I want to go from here. And it's kind of weird because I made these videos for other people and to help myself, and I wanted it to be like a true thing or whatever. And this is not a bad thing, but you guys have helped me so much that I don't know that somebody who didn't get this kind of help sees it, because I've seen so many comments of people like, you know, I made it, it gets easier, like, and you know, you hear people say that, but when you hear somebody who's gone through it say it, and you know, like, oh, it gets easier, you know, the first couple months or blah blah blah, you know more what to expect, and it really makes it easier, you know. I feel different today. I feel like I'm like I was working pretty much all day. Like, I kept my mind busy. One thing I realized is I just was doing nothing. You know, I was so stagnant that I had nothing but time to think. You know, I didn't even try to keep my mind busy. I just festered in it, and I just didn't I didn't try to focus on anything else. I was intent with focusing on that, the discard. And the fact is that's not where it's at. You know what I mean? It's completely different. It's like, I feel different today. Like, it's not gonna fucking change. Move on with life, dude. Like, get on with it and do your thing. You know what I mean? Like you got to make up for lost time. You got to like do all this, like all this pent up energy that you've had, all this, you know, all these wishes and hopes and dreams and all this stuff that have just been squandered and squashed, and you belittled for it. Like, fuck all that. You know what I mean? Fuck all that. Like, who the fuck wants to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Like, she doesn't want anything to do with me. So why the fuck am I wasting my time? Like, fuck that. Like, there's a million fish in the sea, right? And there's just as many whores on shore. I thought that was a funny little meme. I don't mean to say it to whores, but it's true. There's so much out there. Like, I've secluded myself and I've limited myself for somebody else's gain and somebody else's gain only. Nothing to do with mine. It's kept setting me back. And I don't want to be set back anymore. You know, I'm tired of feeling like I'm here for somebody else. Like, I'm not here for myself. Like, fuck, man, you gotta make yourself happy. If you don't make yourself happy, you can't expect somebody else to make you happy, right? Like, it's just not gonna happen. People don't care like that. You know? You're setting yourself up to get used. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to get taken advantage of if you're not looking out for your own best interest. Like, who the fuck's gonna look out for your best interest if you're not even looking out for your own? Nobody. They're gonna see you as a schmuck, which, in all honesty, they should, because you're being a schmuck. If you're fucking, not doing what's right for yourself, well, in a weird sort of way, you almost kind of deserve it, I guess, right? Like, I don't know. I guess that's my outlook now. Like, or the way I felt about it today, anyway. I guess not my outlook, but the way I felt about it today, like, life really is too short for this. Like, I've already wasted a quarter of a century. I wasted a quarter of a century. Like, you don't get, you maybe get 3 quarter centuries to live life. And I wasted one of them. Like, that's selfish. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense, man. There's no point in doing that. Like, you gotta, like, I guess for myself, like, I'm not I gotta, right? Like, I gotta own my shit. Like, that's the problem, is I'm not owning my shit. I'm blaming people, the world, this, that, the third, instead of taking responsibility for the shitty ass choices I've made. Because I've made some shitty fucking choices, and I've let people make choices for me. And I just went with the flow. I just said fuck it, and just let it go down the way it did. And fuck, I mean, it's my fault too that it got fucking as bad as it did. Like, I should have put my foot down a long fucking time ago. I should have been like, no, this is not gonna fucking happen. But I didn't. I just let it happen. I let it happen. I made excuses for it. I made fucking concessions for it. And I fucking... all I did was help grow the beast instead of slaying the beast. You know what I mean? Like, it's... I just kind of... I don't know. I just feel differently about things today. Like... and it's not even necessarily much more optimistic. It's just more realistic. Like, they say, like, you point the finger, there's 4 of them pointing back at you, which actually is not true, because your thumb's not a finger. But anyways, at least there's 3 of them pointing back at you. Like, you gotta own who you are and what you've done and your part in it, or my part, whatever. You get what I'm saying. If you don't own your part, then you're part of the problem. But if you own your part and you still are getting taken advantage of and getting manipulated and getting all this, like, that sucks. That really sucks, but I don't see how that could even happen. Because everybody, I feel, I definitely knew that I was getting taken advantage of. I knew that, like, she was a shitty person. Hell, for 3 years, I knew she was a fucking covert narcissist. Hold on, let me back up a little bit on that. Because she was never diagnosed. Most people aren't diagnosed with narcissism, but she obviously wasn't diagnosed, because she's never going to go to the doctor. And if she is, she's not going to be honest. But she was never diagnosed, right? So there's always, like, a thing in the back of my head of, like, what if I'm wrong? But I knew I wasn't wrong. It was just an excuse for me to justify the actions, because I was worried or scared or intimidated or whatever of the world, being alone, being wrong, failed marriage, missing my kids. And look where it got me. It got me missing my kids, failed marriage, being alone, everything anyway. So why the fuck didn't I take the bull by the horns and I facilitate the thing? Because I was chicken shit. Because I feared the unknown. Right? Because I thought, like, mine is different. My situation is different. But fuck, man, it's not different. If you're in a relationship with a fucking narcissist in any capacity that is personal, you're gonna get fucking damaged. That's inevitable. And I don't give a fuck how much ass kissing you do. In fact, the more ass kissing you do, the fucking worse it gets. Because they don't fear you at all. At least that was true with mine. Like, I don't think she ever respected me. Right? Like, she didn't fucking, like, you know. But I think there was a certain level of, like, she feared. Because I told her numerous times, I'll fucking expose your ass, dude. I'll light your ass up. Like, blah, blah, blah. It was dumb in hindsight to do that because all I was doing was causing a fucking narc injury and she was just buying her time so she could fucking really give it to me, which she did. But you know what? Like, I hate the player and the game in this fucking situation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have hate in my heart for her, but I have, like, anger, and I have, I guess the best emotion I can describe right now is I'm fed up. I'm finally fed up. I'm finally sick of dealing with it. Like, I'm finally sick of the drama and sick of the fucking, like, and you know what? I guess to get over it is you have to admit to yourself that you were part of that. That you were in it. You were conspiring with the fucking narc to, you know, you were getting juiced on that drama. You know, it wasn't like I was, like, you know, begging for it, but I wasn't fucking turning it down either. You know, and that's the reality. That's the truth. That's my part in the situation, right? Because if a narc doesn't have somebody that they can control and manipulate and fucking do their bidding for them and play their game, they're just going to move on until they find somebody who does. And when they find somebody who does, you're that person. They're going to cling on to that for as long as they need you. And when they don't need you anymore, that's it. But that's not it for you. You're still thirsty for that drama. You're still thirsty for that, like, that fight, you know, that aggression and that whole, like, fucking thing of, like, your blood pumping and, like, oh, I'm so fucking angry, or, like, oh, I'm so sad, like, whatever. Like, I almost felt like I couldn't feel, like, emotions if I wasn't. And I think the last videos, all the videos I've made, showed you I can feel plenty of emotions. I feel every emotion in the world. And you know what? I felt them on my own, and I processed them on my own, and I didn't have somebody telling me they were wrong, and I didn't have somebody diminishing how I felt, and I didn't have somebody, and so I got to process them. I got to really process them, really go through, and the only way I could turn it off is when I turned it off, and the only way I could turn it on is when I turned it on. Nobody turned it on for me. Nobody turned it off for me. So they were mine. I owned those. Those are me. Those are my emotions. That's how I felt. Nobody dictated that. She didn't control that. I did. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, I control, like, you know, because you relinquish so much control, you don't even fucking, like, you don't realize that you don't have any control, I guess. Or, like, I keep generalizing, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I didn't have any control. That I relinquished control. And for what? To be fucked with? To be stepped on? To be beaten down? Like, fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Like, fuck, I'm better than this shit, dude. Like, I'm worth more. There's people out in this world that fucking, you know what I mean? Look at perfect strangers that I met on YouTube. Give more of a fuck about me than somebody I spent 25 years with, and I'm supposed to give a fuck about that person? Fuck no. Fuck no. No way. Not gonna happen, dude. No. So, any rate, today was a fucking pretty fucking good fucking enlightening day and like positive, you know what I mean? Not only did I make a decent amount of money, I got to have a great conversation with it's my daughter's boyfriend's mom, who they've been together almost 2 years, and I was in such a seclusion that I only said hi to her a couple times. We never like really, you know, got to know each other. But now, like, we got to know each other really well today. We had good conversations, and like, she's a great person. And I'm glad, you know, that I got to meet her and got to get to know her, because I don't think if the situation with the fucking narco was the same, that I would. So, shit's looking up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be fucking sulking and be down in the dumps. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I will be. I don't fucking know. You know? But I do know, right now, I feel fucking good. And I'm going to ride that cloud as long as I can. So, I want you all to have a beautiful night. Sorry I made the video so late, but I guess better late than never. I will see you guys all tomorrow.